Welcome to Static Model Mayhem. On this episode, we'll be doing a quick review of Zvezda's Mi24P in 1 to 72nd scale. I have to admit that I'm not going blind into this build, as I've built Revel's reboxing of 25V VP some time ago, so I'm going back to perhaps one of my favorite helicopters of the Cold War with Zvezda's 24P, the Canon version. Let's see what we get in the box. The usual sturdy cardboard open top box for Zvezda. We have the instructions, and funnily enough, we're starting with the color variants, and quite frankly, I'm not planning to use either of those. More on that later. Pilots, gearbox, internals, then we're moving to one of the kit's highlights, the engines, which are more or less part of the kit, and you have the option of having the panels open so you can display them. I won't be displaying them open, as I prefer to have a full overall shape of a model, but I will be building them, I think. We'll see. Then we're moving to closing up the cockpit, working with the wings. I'll talk about this a bit later on. And they're suggesting to have the cockpit doors open. I'll have them closed. Moving to the weapons, landing gear, loadout options, and we have two different flare dispensers. I'll see which one's appropriate for what I'm planning to build. And then we have the main deviation from Zvezda's different kits. We have the twin-barreled 30mm cannon on the side instead of a rotating turret. That's for the P. The V has a 12.7mm machine gun on the turret, and the VP has a twin 23mm, I think. Right. So here's where this whole build is different. You have the option to have all the panels open and display the engines. We have some engine exhaust covers, and finally the rotor and the rear bar. Last page, we have a map for all the kit's parts. Quite nice, I must say. It's quite decent. Here we have the transparent parts, nice and clear and no seams. Decals, quite a lot of stencils. I'm not sure if I will place all of them. We'll see. And now we move into the sprues. There's quite a lot of detail, but the panels are very, very faint, so it's going to be really tricky to have any panel line getting there. Perhaps I'll have to give them a pass or two with a scribing tool. We'll see. Some sink marks on the cockpit floor, nothing major. We have one half of the fuselage. As you can see, very, very faint panel lines. Very faint panel lines. Perhaps we're going to definitely use a scribing tool just to enhance these. Some parts from the engine, the gearbox, internals, quite good pilot figures, but I'm not going to use them. I tend to build my models without any crews inside, out of preference. Next screw, here we have the engines. You could add some wiring if you want to, but they give you a very, very nice base to work with. Basically, you can super detail this to a great extent, especially with this kit in 1/48 scale. You have the back of the gearbox, exhausts, some parts for the rotors, I believe, yeah. Landing gear, another part of the gearbox, cabin crew, top and bottom. There is some detail inside, but some sink marks. I think I'll have to clean them. We'll see. And finally, we came to the main rotor. As you can see, there is some droop on the blades. Quite nice. Exhaust filters, anti-tank missiles. Not sure if I'm going to use the missiles or just leave the rails bare. We'll see. Rotor head, quite nice detail. Rear rotor, and that's about it really. Fantastic kit, but it needs a bit of work. I won't be placing any rivet details. I think it's going to be superfluous, especially in 1/72nd scale, but I'll definitely have to use a scriber to deepen these panel lines. Otherwise, it's going to be near impossible to have some pin wash on there. Also, rocket pods, these need to be drilled out. Some internal details. And here's the cannon. Here's the main difference between this kit and the Mi24V/VP1, the gun. Decals and transparent parts we've already discussed. And here's the only extra aftermarket piece that I'm going to use. Camo mask. Camo masking and camo cockpit, no, camo glazing and wheel masks. Here's what we're going to end up with. You might notice that this is about VVP, but I'm going to use it on a, here's the difference, that's a VVP with the turret underneath. What I'm going to build is the P with the cannon on the side. So yeah, a really, really nice kit. One of the best helicopter kits in 1/72nd scale, if you can exclude rivet detail, which I'm definitely not going to be bothered about. You can actually go to town with aftermarket improvements for this kit, and you will probably end up with a price tag of close to 100 euros. This kit costed about, at the time of recording, 22, 24, depends on where you're going to buy it. But I don't think that it's worth it going 4 times the price of a kit for additional details.